Okay. Hi guys. Ito na medyo dyan na tanong. How could you describe your character in Ren to a person who haven't seen the movie or the play itself? Yeah.
I think everyone has their own interpretation of the characters they play. For me with Maureen, she's the type of girl, every clique, you can kind of generalize in every clique or group, there's a certain type of character. So she's the outgoing, outspoken, life of the party type of person in the group. Although, I think one thing that I also discovered just for myself is that she's loud and she's outgoing. Although you'll never see her be soft or heartbroken. You will see her have heartbreak at one point, but you will never see her be as innocent, as not as a strong person. Where I think she's a lot weaker than she puts out. So for someone who hasn't seen the play, you relate to characters differently. Like, although Maureen is the loud, outgoing narcissist, she thinks she's full of herself, I think there is still a gentle side to her that she's discovering. So if you're like that, at home, people think you're the life of the party or the clown, we know there's someone out there that still has a heart, like Maureen, So just because you're out there and loud and, the life of the party, or people might adore you, it's also okay to be vulnerable. And I think that's what Maureen plays. That's the character of Maureen, for me, at least.
About the other Maureen as well.
No, I do very much agree. Maureen is a very, very strong presenting character. I think she's the type of person who loves and fights fiercely. She will defend her pack to the end. Siya yung tipong pag may nangaaway sa'yo, siya yung tatawagan mo inaaway mo, tapos siya yung mga hamon. Ganon. Tapos gagawin niya yun na naka-heels siya ka-bikini. So wala siya pa. So I think she is that sort of character, the kind of bulldog that you have in your barkada, who has no qualms about looking ugly because she's completely confident, but at the same time, her core is that she will protect her family no matter what.
How about our Joanne?
Okay, Joanne, for somebody who's never seen the musical or the movie, I would describe my interpretation of Joanne as somebody who's very strong-willed, probably a Virgo, kasi super probably a Virgo, with a mix of Sagittarius somewhere there. Baka, yes, a very strong-willed. I don't want to say square, but because she's like that out of necessity. What? Sorry, Nat. I won't go that deep. But on top of that somewhat dominant personality, she really is a softie on the inside. She really wants to be loved. Thus, she really wants to be loved, and may longing siya to fight for the community also. She's a lawyer with very traditional parents, and yet, here are her friends. Yes, that's my Joanne.
Okay. What she said.
No,
So I thought a lot about this, right? Like, why would someone like Joanne be with someone like Maureen? And excuse me. And then, what I like to do is I like to look for parallels in life. So I realized that me being an actor and my partner being who he is, I'm the Maureen to his Joanne. He's very no nonsense. He's very grounded, and as opposed to me, who is not. And ADHD, which he has to deal with, and it was a long process of him trying to figure me out and me trying to figure him out. And it was a difficult relationship to foster because we were such different people. But in the end, I kind of realized it's just that he has a soft spot for me. And I have a hard spot for him.
So Joanne.
No, okay, so my Joanne is him. I like to see Joanne through the lens of my partner. Because see Joe. So my Joanne is a Joe. And it's interesting to see through his eyes. Because I got to see how exasperating I was when I was in my performance artist era 4 years ago. And it helps me physicalize Joanne. But I also don't want to play Joanne too much of a square because, I mean, to be with someone like Maureen, you have to be a little yourself. And I think that's what makes their relationship work, is that both of them are a little extreme in their own little ways, just with different upbringings and I guess different perspectives and how they deal with situations. So yeah.
Is there we can add comments?
Yes, just to add, when we started rehearsing, the first few days, prior to rehearsing, I came in knowing that I had to do something which is something that I saw in the film or the musical, who Tom Collins sings, that I have to do it the same as what I saw on this film. But then during our process of rehearsing and with Marky here, and also the direction of Derek Robbie, I discovered that you can be yourself into these characters. Because my Tom Collins is very different from this. But we work together. I mean, some are really similar. But my Tom Collins is, we have a friend who's always just lightheaded, a little, someone in the middle. No right, no wrong.
In other words, the teddy bear.
Yeah, something like that. We just want to love. Just as simple as that. We just want to love. We want to share, or however deep or however sad the situation is. We just want to make someone feel loved, because that's what we want to feel as well. So that's my Tom Collins.
Argue that's the same.
I have a different take on Tom Collins. Well, I mean, it's very similar. We have a lot of similar attacks, but like, I guess I looked a little bit deeper into the text in terms of like him being a professor and him running naked down the Parthenon and him doing all sorts of different, that flourishes him a little bit more. So, like, from what I heard from Mio, he's a little bit more of a nerd. Like, I'm a Pokemon Go player, so I relate. And I play a lot of games. So, I feel he's a gamer, he's a stoner, he smokes a lot of marijuana. And there's just so many things that you can incorporate into, like, because he says it in the text, marijuana. So there's just so many things that he encapsulates as a professor that really pushes you to understand that he's not just that queer that the pastor calls him in the show. He is a lot more than that. He has taken this queer and turned it into something beautiful. And he's encapsulated that with the love of his life, who both Adrian and Lance played their roles so beautifully. And it's just so easy to fall in love with both of them. They're just such fantastic. I tell you, like, I've seen so many angels on like different TV/theatrical productions. These two, ibang level, halimaw. Halimaw. Oh, okay, so that's Collins.
Switch.
He's also heart and soul. He loses someone in the show, so I also lost someone recently. So there's that. And then the other side, there's this guy that you think is the contrabida. He's not the contrabida. I keep saying that. But like, that's why it's 525,600 minutes. You 525,600 minutes, right? So after 1 year, he's evolved into someone completely different, possibly. And if you have a property, right? I am going to say this. If you have a property and you want to build something on this property, right? And there are, let's call them professional squatters, sitting on your property that you own and paid for. What are you going to try to do? Build on the property, right? But he's also trying to do this by still helping his friends out. So if you look at it, he's really not doing much wrong in terms of that. He's just trying to save face with his. This is Benny. This is how bipolar I am and everything. Literally, okay, shift. Okay, shift. Okay, shift. Okay, put on this accent. Put on that accent. But it's great. It's great training.
Panic si guys.
We don't even have money that let alone property. We live off the land. So yeah, this is Ben. And so I just wanted to give a little bit more redemption to the character instead of just like, because I've seen a lot of people portray Benny as very straight edge. You know, I'm gonna give my guy, he comes from Jersey. Who knows? Maybe he has an accent. Who knows? Right? So it's gonna be a completely different Benny. And also a different Collins. Gucci.